Hi, I'm Joel Gendler talking with you again from Victory Productions. Today I'd like to get your feedback on a game-like simulation that we developed. We've often used simulations in science products, but today I'd like to show you something we did in social studies, in this case economics. This was part of a 160 module course on economics. At the beginning of each module there were cartoon characters that would engage students with a graphic style novel approach. Students would learn succinctly what the lesson was about, and then they would go into depth learning about, in this case, jobs and occupations. There would be activities, a summary, and then assessments. Then students would go to the EconLab. The EconLab was a chance to do a little more open-ended investigation, exploring the town or getting a job. Students would start by choosing a character from the cartoons, and then they would make choices about where to live and where to eat. The housing choices would have trade-offs in terms of money and convenience. Here they're living in their parents' house. They're going to choose meals, and in this case there'll be health points awarded and also a time allocation. If they go with the fast food, it will take less time, but it won't do as well on the health points. After they make those choices, they'll make other decisions, for example, going to school, how many courses to take, whether or not to go, how to pay for it. Then they can go apply for jobs. They can apply for more than one job. They can then go and take classes. Once they apply, they can do that immediately. And then they can do recreation activities. They can also invest money. So students will decide how to use their money, and each day they make these decisions, and at the end of the day they go to sleep. If they sleep too little, they will find that they lose points for that. And a lot of the feedback students get will be from playing the game. Nobody's telling them do this or that. For example, they get warnings, you don't have enough in your checking account, but it only happens after the fact. And then students will continue to do this role-playing and simulation. They're basically making their decisions and seeing the economic consequences of their decisions. Students then will, at the end of each day, they'll find out how they're doing. At the end of the week, they get a summary of their progress. Then it's time to pay the bills. And they can choose to have debt, or they can choose to entirely pay off their bills, or some balance in between. And students will then also make a decision about whether or not to enroll in school the second week. They're working towards long-term goals as well as the short goals of this. And they see they've gotten a job at the warehouse, so they're now going to make their housing choices. They could stay in the same place, or now that they're going to have money, decide to upgrade. They can choose their meals again, and again choose how often to go to school. So in the second week, students do very much the same kind of decisions, only now they're seeing a little ahead of time what to do about paying tuition. They had to pay in advance this time. And then students will apply these same decision making and balancing choices, always keeping an eye towards the parameters that are measuring their progress in the game. Students can go do work shifts, and they're going to find that it's a grind of going to work and going to school that they repeat again and again. There's less time to do the other things they did in the first week. So the game evolves for students as they progress through it, and they can make decisions. They'll find maybe the feedback tells them exactly how well they're doing and whether or not they should change their course of action. And then here again, they have to pay their bills. They come to the end of the second week, and they find out they don't have enough to pay their bills, and they're going to have to go into debt. And so the game progresses with varying levels of difficulty. In this case, they completed the goals in 2 weeks instead of 4. Students can go on to the simulation at many other times in the course. There are tutorials, 6 of them, and then there are 6 goal-oriented simulations, balancing competing goals and having fun, helping out. They can do more challenging activities called putting it together, a balanced life, risk management, fun versus engagement. And finally, there are 2 high-level activities that are a bit more challenging. There are many advantages in using game-like simulations. They are a powerful tool for the shifting we see towards a seamless integration of instruction and assessment. But is the complex effort of development warranted? How often should students engage in a truly open-ended activity, and how do we best bring in the teacher? We'd love to hear what you think.